Welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host, as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm hanging in there, Rob. It's a pretty good day.
Yeah,
it's beautiful outside, and I'm off. So
it's not going to be soon. Just so you know.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's supposed to rain by the end of the weekend or by the end of the week.
What? Nobody told me this.
And it's going to get cold.
Really?
Yeah, let's see. Thursday rain 66, Friday rain 59, and then no more than 68 for about a week.
Okay.
Which is good because yesterday I went through my my storage area. I always like to call it my shed, but I live in an apartment, so it's my little storage.
Uh-huh.
But I started it because they tell you about like 5 years. If you have had something for 5 years and you don't use it, you should throw it away.
Yeah.
And I kind of believe that, with the exception of like personal shit. Like you can't throw away yearbooks.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I got rid of a bunch of shit, like 3 box loads full of shit. Just to start clearing out. And I'm going to do the inside the rest of the week. I'm going to go through my closets and just clean up.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm looking like, if my boy ever leaves, I might leave, right? I might consolidate, get smaller, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So just start now. But I started, right? And I'm not joking, I had like 10 boxes on my patio, all open and shit open and tossing things everywhere. And then by the time I knew it, I looked up and it was 87 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why, like, I was dripping with sweat. And then my boy came to the slider door and he woke up late yesterday, like 11 a.m. And he leans his head out the window and goes, "You having a manic time?" I'm like, "No, I actually kind of planned this." He's like, "Right." And then just walked away.
Oh, funny.
I mean, it did look like I was having some like manic, crazy, because there was just shit everywhere. But I don't know. I thinned it out and I repositioned things in there and so I think it's an easier thing to get into now.
Nice.
Yeah, so not too bad.
Yeah, I was on the bike yesterday in just a t-shirt and then my jeans. Normally we wear, sweats, or I have a Harley jacket, or it's something. We wear something over our clothes. Mm-hmm. But yesterday was so beautiful. I was like, to hell with that. I just had my t-shirt. I tied my flannel around my waist so that my t-shirt didn't end up at my armpits, because that wind will blow it right off of you sometimes.
All right.
But yeah, I was just in a t-shirt and my jeans and went all over with my friend. We were on the bike all afternoon, and it was amazing. Even last night, I was sitting outside talking to a friend, and it was not cold. It was just a really nice, warm breeze night. It was a good day yesterday.
I closed my house around noon and put the air conditioner on for a little while because it was hot.
Yeah.
And then I opened up my slider and it was like 74 out. And I was like, wow, like This is the wildest weather.
Yeah, we needed this over the summer.
Right. Yeah.
We got a weird.
Well, we're
summer.
gonna get some 60s here this week. So.
Well, I'm still wanting to wear my new sweat, so bring it on.
Right. Yeah.
When new sweats got that really fuzzy inside. I live for new sweats, so I've bought some 2 months ago, and I still haven't worn them, but for more than 2 hours.
I actually need to buy some.
Mm.
Yeah. So.
We don't really need all that many, though, living where we live.
No, but like, during the winter time, I take my dog to the dog park in the morning.
Oh, you definitely do.
And it's like last year it was 38 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I should probably get some
warm clothes. It's funny, but warm clothes for here is not warm clothes for other places, because when I used to go back east, my warm clothes for here didn't do squat. So I don't know whether changes what you're going to be wearing, but sweats for here work well.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
it is.
Yeah, it's a good idea to at least have a couple of pairs of sweatpants just to make sure you have them.
Hmm.
Um, so we were talking before we got on about how friends can kind of help us through trauma times. I thought, hey, we should probably talk about that because I kind of believe it's true. I think that whether you're going through it, like at that particular time, or just in general, where you can call and just talk to somebody,
Hmm.
it's always nice to have the people in our lives that can do that. Um,
Absolutely.
I, I think just like you, um, we seem to be the people that a lot of people lean on. Like I always get calls from people that are like, "Hey, I'm going through this." It's like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Which look, I'm definitely not complaining,
No,
but
I
sometimes I need it.
yeah. No, I think that friends need to depend on one another for that. Like family is where you learn your lessons, but your friends is where you find your grace. Like where you find, like-minded people, you find somebody that actually cares about you, that's not tied up in anything. They're there cuz they want to be. So,
Mhm.
I think that that's where you find your happy is with your friends.
Correct. And I think that mostly close friends
Yeah.
um generally are the ones who kind of already know your story.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like they're not shocked when you call and say, "Hey, I need to talk to you about this." Most of the time they're like, "Oh yeah." Or they'll like with you and me, we'll just ask right when we start talking, like, "Hey, like what's going on?" And is there anything, or if one of us say something that's open ended, me and you generally just go, okay, what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a lot to that as well.
Mhm.
Um, Look, it's important to have people that you can lean on in times of need.
Absolutely. I
And keep going.
I'm finding that just living in my world means that things that I did when I was married, I can't do anymore, or I shouldn't do, or it doesn't fit my world anymore, or I don't have to worry about it just because it's not even an issue. But I found that the person that I became in that relationship is the person that I am now, and it's not serving me anymore. So having I had a friend just come into my world and want to hang out and was like, whoa, wait a minute, where's all of this coming from? Like, I guess because I had never said anything, um, they didn't know where I was, and they were like, you've been going through all of this and not saying a damn word. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And why? I literally got told, how can I how can I trust you with our friendship if you don't trust me with our friendship? And so basically open up and start freaking talking. And I didn't even realize I was doing that because I'm so used to being in a certain place, and I stay in my lane and just stay there, but I didn't realize that I was neglecting my friendship by not telling people things, so by not showing up. I was there for them, but I didn't allow them to be there for me. And that's been kind of interesting.
It it is nice when that happens.
It's
When
nice when you
someone
could do it, but I didn't realize I was shut off to that. Like I wasn't even looking for that, you know?
I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of us just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We like to um we like to think that we're not indestructible, because I don't think that that's what I'm trying to say. But I just think a lot of us think that we can just do it ourselves.
Well, I think for me, I let people talk first. So when we go out to lunch or we go wherever we're going, or they'll call on the phone, I want to hear from them. So I'll listen to them, and then when they're done talking, they've forgotten that they didn't even ask me how I was doing or what's going on with me, cuz I will talk, I just don't start. And the reason I don't start is cuz most of the time people want to tell me something. So I just go with that and then end up they don't hear it, or they got the end of the story and they're like, "Why didn't you say you were going through this?" And I because we talked about, I'd rather talk about you than deal with my own shit if you really want to know the truth. Like,
Right.
it's better that way to, you know, I don't know. I know what I'm processing. I know what I'm going through, and I pretty much know how to fix things in my life. It's nothing so out of control that I can't. But at the same time, I didn't realize that I was not allowing people to get close to me because I was shut off. Who knew? I didn't know.
Right.
I was just doing what I do because there have been
Because that's
times,
you.
yeah. Yeah. And there have been times in my life where just, you know, I didn't feel like I was important enough to say anything because nobody was really checking in anyway. I just dealt with it all myself. But it's totally true. It's not right to do that to your friends because they can't be there and they can't be support. I know one of my besties, she got really mad at me because I got in a car accident and I just wouldn't even ask her for a ride. And
Wow.
and I needed one and I didn't ask her, but I'm not trying to mess with her while she's working cuz she's really trying to do what she does, and I don't want to, derail her stuffs, but I did. Oh, I got in trouble for that. And I understand because I'm the first person she would call and I always show up. So she's like, "You didn't give me the option." And I'm like, "You're right. You're right.
Right.
I didn't. I did not. I won't do that again." But who knew that she'd even have a problem with that? I didn't. Like, I'm always
No.
grateful when somebody spares me from having to do stuff for them because I got a long list. So I didn't I don't know. But I'm noticing that friends, when you really got good ones, they do want to know, and they do okay with you being messy because they're your friends. And
Right.
I need to start, I guess, being more messy. Not messy, because I don't know, I think I'm too old for that shit too, but just showing up with my shit too and just saying, "Well, this is what I'm going through." I need to do that more.
Hmm. Yeah. I think it's just a great idea to have people who are willing to always be there when you really need them.
Yes.
And look, a lot of us have that. I don't want to, I just think a lot of us don't use that to our advantage.
No.
I think a lot of us just kind of go, oh, this is just the way it is. And, you know, oh, well, like, oh, okay, but it's really not what I was talking about. uh, I like when people, and I don't want to say call you out because I don't mean it that way, but it is nice when people that you know very well will be a lot more upfront, because some people, and sometimes me, like, you need to hear it, because I've talked about it. I've done some pretty dumb stuff, and when you do dumb things, um I can totally understand that you may not you may not want to hear it because in the moment you're um you think you're doing the right thing. And I totally understand. So what do you think about that, Tina? Like, do you want to hear when you do dumb shit from your friends or
No, never. No. Because I know. And my friends, they're kind of like, okay, teen, well, you know what you're doing. Like, I can't even say anything to you because when you tell me what you're doing, you're like, I know this is dumb and I know I should be doing this and I should be doing that, but I'm not. And here's my story. And if you want to hear it, here, sit down. But
Mhm.
if you don't, I don't really want to hear your opinions because I already know. And I know I shouldn't be like that with them, but I can't help it. Because I do know when I'm being a dumbass. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to know when I'm fucking up.
Exactly. I'm kind of the same. Like I've told you several times, like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but
And I'm like, well, go ahead then. Like, do
right.
your thing. I'm not gonna I don't know. I don't feel the need to stop my friends from doing stupid things. And to be honest with you, I think we need to do more of them. There's a whole life that we live and it's all these things that we won't or we shouldn't or we can't do. Well, why not? Why not do some of those things? I mean, see what happens next.
Yeah. And
I don't
look,
know. I kind of like that.
I, I like to hear both sides of every story. I think like, look, like you said, we all know if we're doing something that's
Dumb.
probably not smart. I think that's the best way of putting it. Just like, yeah, because at the moment we are feeling good about it. So it's easy to justify your own crazy.
Yeah.
Because I've had other people tell me things and I go, yeah, it's fucking dumb. But to them, they're like, but no, you don't. And that's my other favorite thing from, I'm sure I say it and I'm sure people have said it to me. They go, but you just don't understand. From where I'm talking about, you're like, okay, yes, you're right. It is from where I'm talking about. Eh,
Yes.
So I think that thankfully we're we're all always going to have our own point of view.
For sure.
But it is
I mean,
nice when someone recognizes your trauma or your um, issues of the past, right?
she's at the back.
And sees them through, I don't want to say rose-colored glasses, but I think sees things objectively, right? They sit there because
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody today actually, and we were kind of talking. I sent a video, um, like a YouTube video to them, and then they came back to me and was like, "Well, I kind of did that," and I was like, "No, I'm from a certain point of view. Yes, I can see how someone might see that, but I go, you have a different story. There's always
Layers.
well a certain point of view. That's
Yes.
that's one of my one of my favorite uh Star Wars lines. I know that it's I'm gonna have to get it because I don't want to quote it wrong, but it's like one of my favorite ones. Basically, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke goes to him and goes, you said that Darth Vader killed my father, not that he is my father. You know what I mean? And he goes, well, he is from a certain point of view. And Luke's like, a certain point of view. And he goes, you're going to have to understand that the truths that we lean on are all seen from a certain point of view. And since I've heard that, which was like in the fucking 80s, I kind of lean on that because it's true. You know,
Right.
everything is seen from a certain point of view, and we hope it's ours.
Well,
Because we
yeah, I
want
guess so.
because we want to hear that. We want to hear, yeah, you're right. Not you're out of your fucking mind for wanting to do that. You know, that's
Yeah.
just reality. I look at it from that standpoint where I'm like, oh, because I've thought some crazy shit in the past and been like, maybe I should do this. And I've had people go, well, that's crazy. Like, you shouldn't move to Las Vegas. What are you, out of your mind? And it's like, well, yeah, but you know, what are you going to do? Uh, So I think now, I, if I tell somebody I'm going to do something crazy, I don't, I don't let it get to me that bad anymore. Because I just think that it's insanity. Like, yeah, you have to do crazy shit and make mistakes.
Yeah.
You just
Okay.
do. I mean, it, and look, will some come back to haunt you? Absolutely. Without a doubt. They'll come. And here's the problem. When they come screaming. They'll
Yeah.
get you good. Um, but that being said, I I I also believe that you you have to live, like in my case. I'll use me as an example only because um I did it for so long. I just didn't want change. Right? I just fucking hated it. I hated change. Um so I stayed in the same place for years and I didn't want to move and I
I remember you being like that, and I'd be like, "Why don't you want to do this? Why
yeah,
don't you want to
I
do that?"
because I'm one of those people who I just really enjoy um not I don't I'm just complacent. It's like things are good. Like there's no
Don't mess with
reason.
them.
There's just no
Don't
reason to do
mess.
it.
Yeah.
And looking back on that now, um it very much hindered me in life because I was
Well, you
just
definitely had to catch up. I mean, even drinking, like you wouldn't try to drink ever, or
no.
you wouldn't I don't know, you didn't like school, you didn't like things. You didn't like change, that was for sure.
Yeah, I hated change. I
Yeah.
absolutely hated change.
That's
So for
funny.
me, it's now I just think that you absolutely have to live. So like
For sure.
moving now, I just think that I would move in a second. I have no problem moving. Like the last time when I moved to where I live now, I just found that I my company would take me. I packed up everything and fucking left. I
Right?
didn't I didn't let things get to me this time. And I think now I would just continually do that. I just won't. I'm not going to let
Y
these small things bother me. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There's, you have to have that mentality, I think, now to um just have the gumption or the balls to pick up shop and go or whatever it is, whatever your thing is, like just do it, and hopefully we have the friends that will be there when it doesn't work because it may not, you know what I mean? And I think that's the bigger thing is when you'll have the one person there at the end that's like, I'm still here for you. I know it sucked
Mhm.
and what you thought was going to happen didn't, but you're fine. And to me, that's the biggest thing, is having somebody there that's going to pick you up when the shit hits the fan. Because it
You
does.
know, I've my friends and I, we do something completely different than what I used to do with old friends, and that is we're truthful with each other. Like, we're not trying to, you know, put a stamp on anybody's delusions. We'll just say, well, if that's what you want to do, cool. Like, let's see what happens.
Right.
I'm not opposed to letting you go through whatever it is you think you need. Like, that's just never been me. But sure, like, yeah, you should try it. Like, let's see what happens. And then they come back and, they'll say stuff like, why did you let me go through that? I'm like, oh, I didn't let you. I was just being your friend. You want to learn the hard way. Here's an easy way to do that, and let you do that.
Yeah. I'd
I
rather
don't,
hear that note, that, Tina. I'd rather, I mean, you with me, you're like, you're the easy one. You with me, you're just like, go do it. Like,
yeah, why not?
yeah,
Is anybody going to die? If nobody's going to die, let's do this. Because for me, that's the only thing that I found in this world that is going to change something, and that's death.
mhm.
Other than that, we're all walking around trying to figure out what the hell we're doing with this world. So do it.
Uh,
Do it and enjoy it. Like,
correct.
figure it out,
I totally agree now. I wouldn't have 30 years ago. I would have been like, no,
No,
we
no,
don't do
no.
anything crazy.
Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid, stupid.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I totally would
Yeah.
have. I would have talked myself out of everything. Um, and it's funny because you think back, like I think back, to a friend of ours that I dated when I was like really young, when I was 18, and
Okay.
I should have chased her
Yeah.
just so I could have said it didn't work, and I didn't. And look, like life happens the way it's supposed to, however you want to, whatever your thing is. I don't know, some people, I'm just kind of a believer in fate too. Like what happened was supposed to, and she ended up, married with kids and did her thing, whatever your, however you want to put it. But I think if I had a choice, I would have made several choices in life. You know what I mean? Like I've shit the bed on a couple of things that I should have fought harder for, and I probably would have been in a better place because of it. But I
Think so?
didn't, and I let lots of people out of my life I shouldn't have, because I was just like, nah, like, and sometimes you can't do that. You have to go, all right, this is worth fighting for. This is worth finding out what it is. This is worth whatever. Because I didn't at 18 years old, and I could have. I had a place to come back to.
Right.
Like if
Right.
I would have left, I could have left, and my dad would have been like, well, if it doesn't work, come home. And he probably wouldn't have had any problem with it, because I ended up, in an apartment with people and got evicted. And the first thing my dad said was, "Hey, just come home."
Come home. Yeah.
And he didn't even blink. Like it wasn't even, oh, I told you it wasn't going to work for you. He didn't even, nothing. Just, yeah, come home.
Well, I think
Now,
at that point,
but here's the funny thing. I didn't go home because I had my, chip on a shoulder. I'm not going to go home. I need to show my dad that I'm, I can do it alone. And even that fucking blew up in my face. So look,
And
there's,
did he tell you to come home again?
I ended up, when I came home to California from Vegas, I kind of had some waiting time until I could move in someplace.
Uh-huh.
So I did 30 days with my best friend, which was,
You did 30
oh
days. That's
man,
hilarious.
teen, that was
I'd
probably,
imagine your friends a kick in the pants.
oh
Like,
man,
you guys were funny together.
we drank every day. And
Oh,
we would
no.
make like, we would go to the store and buy like a 6 pound pork roast and then make carnitas and eat it for days. And just, we would eat tacos at 8 in the morning. Like it was a crazy 30 days. Then I went and lived with my dad for 30 days, which was amazing because like, not that we had ever had like a horrible relationship, but we had some issues when I left.
Oh,
So I squashed all that. It was, I left there with a much better relationship with my father.
good.
To this day, but I had changed. I was 40 years old. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
a 20-year-old kid. I was a grown man who had a child, and like I was just, it was a different time. So yeah, I thought it was great. We ended up with a great, and he helped me with whatever trauma I was going through.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
though
you
it
were
might have,
going through a lot. That was not
yeah, it
an
was a
easy
rough
thing
time
that you
coming home.
did. Yeah.
And then of course, like our relationship was just different. Like I came home and I helped him with stuff, and it
You
was just,
wanted to.
yeah, it was just a different time. So like people in our lives generally will help us through trauma when we're ready to accept it.
For sure.
I
For
mean,
sure.
yeah,
You know,
it's important.
it's funny because life is not what we plan it to be. And oftentimes we'll do stupid things because they seem like they're a good idea. They're just not.
Mm-hmm.
But when we do that, thankfully, having friends around that will support you even when you're dumb, because there's a lot of people in this world that won't. But your friends, they'll be like, okay, well, you're gonna go through this. Let's see how it goes. And I may sit and watch, or I may back away, but I'm still gonna be your friend. That's that's something that you really need to you need to have that. And it's good that you can and that you do and that you could, sit there and make those carnitas tacos at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you have your friends still like nothing. You, I again, if you didn't die from it, anything could be fixed. Anything could be looked at. Anything could be, um, changed, or you could grow from. So why not put that in your friends' hands? Why not lick your wounds and let them see that you're not perfect? Because my friends are like, "You never told me that. I had no here I thought you have a good life and you put your game face on and you go and you do and you're having a great time. I didn't know you were broken inside when that was going on. You didn't share that with me. You
Right.
didn't trust me enough to let me in." And now that I see that, they're absolutely right. I didn't. And that's not the way to be with your friends. But who knew at the time that it was going on, that was what I was doing even. And especially with, like, I'm living with my dad again after years of not. And he told me the other day, he goes, "I wouldn't be able to live here without your help." Now here I'm always like, yeah, I'm living with dad because I got divorced. I'm a big loser again. But it was divine intervention because I don't think I would have come home otherwise.
Right.
And then, who would be helping him if not me? That wouldn't have made sense to me. So, I don't know. I think even though we do stupid shit, I think it's all a learning process. Everybody goes through it. We all have to find our way.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, and look at the reality of like, you might have ended up there anyway, taking care of him.
oh yeah, I would have did what I did when my mom was alive. I would have been, telling my then husband to go home and get some rest, and I'm going to stay until whatever time I stay with him. I wouldn't have had a good relationship with him because I would have been running here, there, and everywhere trying to make dad happy at the demise of my relationship, because we went through a lot when my mom was at her worst. And um I think back of all the things that we had to go through as a couple just to kind of compensate for mom's issues that she was having, and it sucked. It really did. It wasn't an easy thing. So I look at it now going, this is definitely easier than having to go back and forth or to have to worry about getting dinner on the table for my family, or whatever it was that I was going through. But it's still not easy. Like, life is not easy because I still have to take care of him. But now I don't have the support of having a husband.
Correct.
There's that too.
Yeah, but again, this is kind of the swing back around to, and this is why we need people that we can lean on.
Right?
We need people that will either tell us what we want to hear, because sometimes we need that. And I know people hate to hear that, but definitely true. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes we just need somebody to go, yeah, you need this. Like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
I kind of do. Or you need somebody to give you the hard truth and slam you with some shit you don't want to hear. And it's an important thing, I think, on both sides. You just never know. But trauma is always going to be there. And I don't want to use that word like, problems maybe, or issues, because, I guess it all matters what your definition of trauma is.
Well, trauma's got a different, like, connotation to
Yeah.
it too. Like, I don't know. I don't say that my stuff is trauma. It's just things that I'm going through in life. I try to underscore it instead of making it sound worse than it is, just because if that's the case, I'm overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to not do that. But yeah, it is trauma. I mean,
Yeah. It just matters how you.
just matters how you want to deliver it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. That's the reality of the world. We all have issues, things. No one has a perfect life. There's
no,
just lots of, there's just lots. Uh,
there's just lots.
yeah. My biggest thing is, make sure that you have someone to talk to. And on the flip side, make sure that you're thinking before you deliver, information to people. Know who you're talking to, so you don't send him
Know your
deeper.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I have a way of sometimes being a little too much. and I can
Mhm.
and I can say the wrong thing sometimes. And I'm doing my best now to not do that.
Right.
Just be a little more gracious when I give information. Um, but on the flip side, look, I think it's important that we help people, or be there for someone, because shit, life's hard enough.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. The reason that we brought this up is I have a newer friend that doesn't pull any punches. Like, definitely he's going to tell it like it is from the get-go, and we don't have to be delusional. We don't have to we don't have to lie. I always say we don't have to lie to kick it, and he laughs at me, but it's true. Like, we're we're both at a place in our lives where um we should just be honest. But in this world right now, being honest comes with a lot of bullshit. So um for me, I feel like it's uncomfortable because he is so open and honest, like, in a way that's like, come on, Garcia, get your head out of your ass. It's that I'm getting it. He delivers it like that with me. But at the same time, I think that it's good because nothing else has worked. I mean, if you think about it, everybody's told me things that they, wanted to tell me or whatever. And Lord knows I was not paying attention to a lot of it. So I kind of like that he doesn't pull any bullshit with me, but at the same time too, I'm like, fuck, now I got to deal with this. And everybody else was letting me get out of it. But I'm really enjoying the he's refreshing in that you're going to hear it. Like he's just going to be honest with you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because a
I'm a
lot of
fan.
people will, yeah. Oh, a lot of people will sugarcoat it. And you can't sugarcoat stuff with me because I'll be like, yeah, it's not that bad. I'm going to do it anyway. Well, he's like, are you kidding me? Like, what are you thinking? Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do it.
Right.
But who knew? I didn't even realize that I needed somebody to be really honest with me. I didn't know. And now that I have somebody that's really honest and when I was telling him, he always tells me things that he's going through. And I never said anything. So I finally told him where I was at with one thing, one situation. And he goes, wow, I didn't realize that you had just as much damage as I have in my life. And he goes, now I kind of feel for you. And I was thinking to myself, did it sound that bad? Because I didn't think it was that bad.
Right.
But you know what? Maybe it was. And maybe he did need to say that so that I could be like, oh, maybe I should put a little more attention into myself and what's going on in my world.
I kind of agree. My whole thing is that, you know, what we think, it all matters, I guess, how you are. Like damage is a weird thing to me. Like, yeah, we all have something that's broken. We just do. Like I'm not one to say like, oh, I have no issue. It's like, yeah, of course I do. Like we all have some kind of issue. But I also think that we have to look at our friends and go, okay, if you think you're alone in the world, you're not. Like
No.
we're just not. Like we all have our own shit going. And some of us have never told anybody about that shit. So when it finally comes out or someone finally says something to you, remember that they're giving you a heavy load. And
Right.
when they give you that, you have to sort of coddle it a little.
Yeah.
You just got to understand that some people are telling you these things for the first time. and
Yep.
and be ready for that, because it does suck to feel like you're the only one going through something. It just does. And look, you're not. Don't worry about it. Don't feel bad if you have to tell somebody like, hey, this is this or this is that. You're fine. We're all human. We all have our issues, and just don't be afraid to lean on your friends. Like life's hard enough, and taking it all in on your own is rough. And I'm telling you just from a man's point of view, because I think that men generally
Do it
have
more.
less friends.
Yeah.
So just, look, find somebody. My son has really kind of leaned on me on certain things that I wasn't, not that I wasn't ready for it, because I'm always ready to hear from him, but it was nice to hear him say something. And he was just like, what do you think? And I was like, oh, okay. Like, let me give you my reality, because it was about girls. And he was just like, I go, look, I'm telling you how it was with me. And I have no problem telling him that, look, I've shit to bed on stuff. Like, me and his mom and this and that. It's like, look, it happens. Just don't be
Yeah.
afraid to lean on friends and if you have friends that are ones like that, just continue to let them give you a little support.
And know that it's reciprocal. Like, I'm the one that everybody leans on, but I don't lean on anybody. Well, that's a lot of weight to put on my own shoulders that I could be getting, you know, somebody's help too. I could be um, working towards being different than I am if I wasn't always supporting everybody else. Not that I won't support. That's not what I'm saying. It's just when you have support, when you get what you need, you should absolutely run with it. You can't do life any other way.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't. You don't have to. It's not a situation that's set up like that.
100%. And that's me. I have a way of helping everyone and storing my own stuff up.
Oh,
So
me too. Me too.
I'm
But
doing my best not to.
and you shouldn't, because it doesn't need to be all on our shoulders. It just doesn't. There's no reason for it. But sometimes, we'll do what we're going to do, and it normally means uh that we're going to be holding the bag. And I don't want to hold the bag anymore.
Yeah, me either. I'm too old for that shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I just want
I
somebody to
don't
be super upfront and go, hey, this is it, and this is me, and help.
it help.
You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
that's what I want. I'm doing my best to not bullshit people anymore, and hopefully that turns into better relationships
Yeah.
and such.
I wouldn't say it's bullshitting them, though. I wouldn't
No,
say
I
that.
don't. Maybe I don't mean it that way. Just that I mean that it's a little more. Uh, I'm less. Um, uh, Maybe I'm just very straightforward, and a lot of people don't like that.
You're a guy, and guys speak differently to guys than how. Because when I tell my friends something, I'll be like, "Well, do you?" And I'll be here when you're ready to, pick up the pieces or whatever. Or, shit, I don't know. It may turn out great, and you'll be like, "Tina, you should have did it with me." But
Right.
but I'm not going to tell you no. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I part of me wants to see what the hell they're going to do. To be honest. I want to see how they're going to be. I want to see what happens. I don't want to miss it. It's like reality TV sometimes. I just want to know what they're going to do in the moment. I'll watch it, but I know that if we don't let people be who they are, they're just not going to be around us. So, I'm all for watching the train wreck.
Right.
And that's what I tell them. I'm like, "I'll watch your train wreck. Let's go. Get me some popcorn. Let's do this."
Right.
And but again, if no, there's bad ideas all over the place, and there's suffering for sure. But as long as you're not going to die doing it, why not give it a shot? You need to know.
Right. And that's what I'm going to do from now on. I've kind of told myself I don't care. I'm just going to throw shit to the wind and try, because you're better off in the end. At least you know.
You gave it all you got.
Yeah. Because like I said, I've had too many what ifs.
Yeah.
And what ifs suck. What ifs super suck.
They definitely can suck.
Yeah.
I remember when I was gonna adopt my daughter, I went to my dad and my mom, and I was like, "What do you guys think?" Because I was gonna need help. I couldn't do it on my own. I mean, I had to work and everything. She needed to be picked up from school. She needed to have a family, and I was wondering Like, how should if I should do this? I was asking for guidance. And I remember my dad saying, don't fucking do it. Don't do it, because if you do it, you're going to have, this happen and that happen, and it's a selfless, thankless job. Don't do it. Like, he had already fostered one of my friends in school, and he knew that he was just like, don't do it. But then he said, I know you're going to do it anyway, so let's see what you make of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that too. I went, he was right. I was going to do what I was going to do anyway. I mean, dad knows me. And was he right about his advice? Absolutely. He should have gave that out to 100 different people, and I was the one that got it and didn't use it. But the good part about life is that you can make mistakes, you can get through them, and luckily your people will still be there for you. And
Correct.
that's the great part of it.
Just got to make sure to keep on trucking.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, as we close this out, you really just have to make sure that I would say, keep in contact with people and
For sure.
and make sure that you're there just as they're there,
Absolutely.
and realize that we all have feelings. Sometimes I think that we as people don't remember that, and then you realize afterwards that you said something to somebody that you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
But
I don't think anybody goes around trying to do things to hurt people from the get. It's just that sometimes we say things, and I've heard, so the other day, the same friend, um, he and I were not, we were apparently disagreeing. I didn't know that we were, but we were. And I guess I had said to him, not even thinking, was, well, I guess we could agree to disagree because friends do that, right? And he's like, you shut me down. I wanted to argue with you about it, and I wanted to make my point, and you shut me down. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I didn't even feel like I did that to you. And he goes, no, you were even subtle about it, which really pissed him off. And I thought it was funny because I was like, I didn't even mean it like that. I was just saying, well, we don't have to argue.
Right.
It's and I didn't realize that even saying that, it did shut him down. It did make him go, wow, that was messed up that she did that to me. Like, why didn't she want to hear me? It wasn't that I didn't want to hear him. I just didn't think we were going to agree on anything. So I stopped it.
Right.
Not knowing that I was stopping it, but shit, if you know me, I say stuff all the time, to be honest with you. And it is the truth as I see it. I'm not one to not tell the truth, but maybe it's not your truth. But I'm not opposed to doing that. But it was kind of funny because he's like, yeah, you just shut me down. And I was like, I did? Huh. Who knew? It I didn't know what to say.
I mean,
It's got to be honest. You got to be honest.
You have to be honest, super honest. And look, at the end of the day, if you stop something that shouldn't have been a disagreement in the first place, that's a win.
Yeah.
That's a total win. I think most people, me included, need to realize that some shit's just not worth arguing over.
No, it's not.
And then some shit is absolutely worth arguing over.
Yep.
So, look, at the end of the day, I think we all need to make sure that our trauma bonds are good with our friends that can help us with them. Because I think they'll help us out of things sometimes that we don't want to listen. And look, sometimes you're just not gonna, but they'll be there for you. That's I think that's the most positive way we can look at things, I guess. Any last words for the show this week?
It's okay to lean on people, and it's okay to open up and let them know what's going on.
Absolutely. And be ready for the reality of your friends. Because
Be ready for them to tell you you're freaking crazy.
Yep.
Because they will. Because they're your friends.
They will. and you know what? Sometimes it's the best thing that they do.
Yeah.
Check us out on all the socials. You can hear this show everywhere. Thanks for last month. It was amazing, and we're still getting some really good traction. Keep sharing, and it's an opinion show. Don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesday. I'm Rob. That's Tina. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.